Hello. Perfect. So welcome to So You Want to Be a Certified Coach. This is a webinar that we do to answer any of your questions if you're considering a career in coaching, and especially a professional coach training program. So you can go ahead and share in the chat. Where are you located and what brings you here to this webinar? Why now? And I'll take the opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Greg Reinauer. I am the Director of Admissions here at Academy for Coaching Excellence. I'm also one of the course leaders and mentor coaches as well. So very involved in all things here at ACE. So out of our time together, yes, Guy?
Oh, I was just going to say I'm from Sacramento. I can't enter the chat. I'm only on the phone call.
Okay, great. So guys joining us from Sacramento. Hi, Dan. Oh, it's still connecting with audio. Hi, Dan. Welcome. We're just getting started. And if you're able, you can share where you're coming from and what brings you to this webinar in the chat. And if you're able, you can go ahead and come off video. So we're going to look at what being a professional coach is all about, the pathway to being a professional coach, and see if the Academy for Coaching Excellence is the coach training program for you. You'll learn about the philosophy around professional coaching, particularly the ACE philosophy. Discover a pathway to becoming a masterful coach. We'll answer the common questions about our program. You'll get pricing and next steps for your training, and you'll see the usual timeline for your professional coach certification. So I'm going to cover a fair amount of information pretty quickly, but please, if you have any questions at any point, you can use the raise hand feature or even just come off mute and ask a question. I want to make sure, first and foremost, to answer any questions you have so you can get clear about your next steps. So let's take a look at what does a coach do. There are many different coach training programs. This is 4 of the main value that we see coaches deliver with their clients, 4 of the main roles that a coach plays with their clients. So first of all, a coach helps their client see what matters to them the most. You know, a lot of times when people come to coaches, they're not looking for more things to do in their life, but they're looking to make sure that what they're spending their time on, what they're spending their energy on, is what's most important to them. So part of that is getting very clear about their vision for what they want their life to be about, what they want to contribute, who they really are and what's most important to them, so that they know that their actions are in line with what has meaning. So that's first and foremost, really supporting a client to get clear on what's important. And then from there, helping a client set goals that have true meaning in order to demonstrate what's important. So it's not just about getting clear in our minds, but it's about setting clear goals that we're demonstrating that in physical reality and focusing our energy on what's most important. And if you've ever gone for a meaningful goal, you know that at some point we reach this moment where we tend to either stop, turn around, give up, or put it off for another day, or we struggle through by wasting energy. And this is one of the key moments where a coach gets to be alongside the client and help them really observe whatever it is that comes up for them that has them stop or struggle when they're going for something new and meaningful, and to move through this with some ease and grace, and to do it consistently. In fact, we have a definition of success here at ACE that we really love. And you look at this a lot if you take the first Foundations course with us, which I'll talk about later. And it's from our founder, Dr. Maria Nemeth. And the definition is this: success is doing what you said you would do consistently with clarity, focus, ease, and grace. Doing what you said you would do, not what anybody else expects you to do or what you should do, but what you said you would do because you're clear it's important. Consistently, meaning not when we feel inspired, not when everything is going according to plan, but on a regular basis with clarity, once again, being clear who I really am and what's most important to me in my life. So my actions represent that. Focus, meaning first I learned to focus my brain on what's important to me, focus my brain on the thoughts that empower me to show up the way I want to show up. And from there, focusing my energy. And in the first foundations course, we talk about 6 forms of energy that we have to play with here in physical reality. And they're not abstract forms, they're just tangible ways that we use energy to get things done, to score a goal. And without going too much into them now, the 6 forms of energy that we get to focus on are our time, our money, our physical vitality, which is our relationship with our body, our creativity, our enjoyment, and our relationships, giving and receiving support. So once you focus your brain on what's most important, and oftentimes that means observing what our brains do that get in the way of doing things with ease, we can then focus our energy on what's important. Ease doesn't mean you're not working hard. You can work hard with ease. What ease means is, as a coach, we support people to struggle less at this point, these internal stopping points where we waste energy, we get frustrated. Learn how to move through those without wasting any unnecessary energy, not making it any harder than it needs to be for ourselves. And we can work hard with ease. It just means we're giving up struggle. So clarity, focus, ease, and grace. Grace is the experience, the appreciation of all of the unearned or unexpected blessings that are around us always on our hero's journey. And the gateway to grace is gratitude, and we'll give you some clear ways to practice gratitude consistently. So I wanted to share that definition of success. Success is doing what you said you would do consistently with clarity, focus, ease, and grace, because this is what we're looking at as a coach, supporting people to move past these stopping points so that they are doing what they said they would do consistently with clarity, because they're clear on what matters, focusing their energy on what's important toward their goals, ease, giving up the struggle, and grace so that they're enjoying the blessings along the way. They're enjoying the process because, once again, it's not about supporting people to do more, but about the quality that they bring, how they show up for what they're doing. And then fourth, a coach encourages their client to celebrate successes. Now, this isn't just because it feels nice and it's a fun thing to do, although it does and it is, but success, celebration is an important success skill set. Because if you've noticed, and this is in many ways what this framework is all about, if you've noticed, our brains are really good at pointing to what is going wrong, hasn't gone right, what might go wrong, what could go wrong. And it's important to train your brain to recognize what is going right, what is going well, so that we can do more of it. And the more we practice this is about focusing your brain. So you're looking for the opportunities to do more of what's working. So in that sense, successful people have learned to recognize their successes and celebrate them. So that's a key part of being a coach. And really, it's one of the joys and privileges of being a coach, getting to celebrate when your clients do it. They score that goal. They do what they said they would do. And they have that breakthrough. So before I go on, any questions or comments about these 4 main areas of what a coach does with their clients? Good. And we want to be clear about this because there are many ways to support people. You could become a counselor or a therapist or a mentor or a consultant. And oftentimes people come to coaching with a background in some of these things. And you can see here, a coach isn't giving advice, a coach isn't giving the answers, but rather empowering their clients to really tap into their own wisdom and creativity and energy and courage so that they can move forward from their own sense of wisdom. So let's look at ACE, of course, Academy for Coaching Excellence. We use ACE around the community here. It's the acronym. What sets us apart from the many, many coaching schools out there? And if you've been to the ICF website, some of you have found us through the ICF website, you'll see that even when you start with ICF accredited programs, there's still many to choose from. So here are a few things that set us apart from the many other choices there. Number one, ACE approach is ontological. Now, what does ontological mean? Ontology is a branch of metaphysics that is the study of being. And without going way down a rabbit hole of the philosophy of ontology, what it means is fundamentally we're concerned with who people truly are, that is greater than or separate than their thoughts, feelings, doubts, circumstances, and being able to be present to who someone is. One of our core principles is you are not your brain and you are not your thoughts. You have the capacity to observe your brain and observe your thoughts. And when you do that, you get to experience who you really are that is doing the observing. Now, how is this relevant to coaching? Well, in our coaching approach, it's not so much about what you say to them or all of the tools that you use or asking really clever questions. We give you a lot of that framework that you can use. But first of all, it's about how you're being with your client and what you're seeing to be true about them, clearing away any of the stuff we project onto the people we seek to empower so that in your presence, they experience who they truly are. And that allows them to have their own breakthroughs. And you as a coach don't need to work very hard. In fact, you can just be inspired by the person and create an environment where they can really tap into their own greatness. So that's what we mean by ontological. It's the heart of this whole framework. Now, in the first foundations course, you first learn to use this ontological framework in your own life. And then from there, if you choose to continue on, we'll teach you how to coach others with it. But we really have a philosophy here that you cannot coach someone past a point you haven't gone past yourself. So that's what that first course is all about. And I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but we encourage everyone, start with the first course. If you take no other course from us, you'll get a ton out of it, but you get to experience this. I can talk about it for an hour. I could talk about it for 4 hours, but it's not going to create the same understanding of what it's all about as experiencing it for yourself. So that's ontological in its simplest explanation. Universal. Our approach is universal. There are many coach training programs out there that are for a specific type of coaching. This is a relationship coaching school. This is a business coaching school, an executive coaching school, a health coaching school. And oftentimes when they're that specialized, they kind of have a framework that they expect people to follow. So it's a little bit more directive or prescriptive. Here, this universal coaching approach means the tools that we train you in can be applied to any area of focus that you want to work with people on. So we've had brilliant relationship coaches, money coaches, business coaches, creative coaches. I have a background in music, so I coach a lot of musicians and artists. And the framework, the tools itself are universal. They work in any of those areas. And you work with a mentor coach to really support you to apply them in different areas. And we match you with a mentor coach that has experience in the direction you want to go. So this is what we mean by universal. It's a pragmatic approach. By that, we mean The only way that we measure coaching has occurred is that somebody is taking action and producing the results they want in life. So this isn't just about insight or that aha moment. It's about using whatever you see in a coaching session and taking action on it so that you're producing the results that you want to produce in your life. You're scoring the goals that you want to score in life. This is the only measurement we use to see that coaching has worked. And in fact, it's the same with the first course where you're going to experience being coached in this model before you coach others. The only way that we know people got what they came for out of that course is that they're seeing the results that they want to produce. So that's what we mean by pragmatic. This stuff works. And by the way, this coaching framework has been developed for over 30 years by Dr. Maria Nemeth. And we've been training and certifying coaches for over 22 years. So what that means is whatever didn't work to consistently produce results with clients has been updated or taken away. So what's left is something that is consistently reliable with clients. Number 4, our approach is compassionate. We really recognize the wholeness of each human experience, appreciate all that it takes to show up to your life, appreciate your ability to move past whatever circumstances you're going through, and acknowledge and recognize people's different lived experiences. So this is an approach that is at the heart of it, steeped in compassion. And similar to that, socially conscious. What that means is this is just part of our culture. This is part of our mission. What we represent, the type of people who end up going through our program tend to be people who are aware of what's going on in the world and want to make a positive difference. And while they, of course, want to have a great, thriving, successful career for themselves as a coach, they also see that coaching has the ability to make a big impact in this world as they empower people to make the contributions that they want to make. And we see our clients are making the difference that they want to make. So if you go to our website and look at some of our, our diversity scholarship program and just some of what our different coaches, if you look at the coach spotlight, are up to, you'll see that socially conscious is just a part of the culture here in the ACE community. It's transformational. Now, what do we mean by transformational? Here, we differentiate transformation from change. Change means you might go through a training and change some ways of looking at things, change some ways of doing things, some approaches, but there's always a sense we can change right back. Transformation is different. It means you'll see some things going through this program for yourself that you will never unsee. Once you see it, you will never unsee it. And the power in that is that it no longer ever needs to get in the way and cause you to stop and struggle anymore. This is the opportunity. And it starts with the first course where you can experience your own transformation. Now, one of the things that you'll discover in the first course for yourself is something called your basic assumption. Your basic assumption is your underlying tendency toward fight, flight, or freeze. It's like a decision that you made when you were only maybe 18 months old. And it kind of runs in the background and comes up every time we're doing something new or different. And it's what is at the heart of the worries and doubts and any limiting thoughts that get in the way of doing things with ease. You have the opportunity in the first course to see what has been running in the background this whole time. And as soon as you see it, you will never unsee it, and you no longer ever need to be it in those situations. So that's what we mean by transformation. Like a butterfly never goes back to being a caterpillar. You'll see things that you will never unsee if you go through these courses. So these are 6 of the main things that differentiate ACE from other programs. I just want to check in Anyone have any questions? I just gave you a bunch more information. I'll pause. Is this making sense? Yes, good. Any questions at all? Okay, good. I'll keep going. So, as I mentioned, one of the things that we do as coaches is support people to get clear on their vision. And if you are attending this webinar or watching the recording, you have some vision for becoming a professional coach. So right now, look for yourself, what would it be like for you to be a successful coach? Remembering again that definition of success we use, doing what you said you would do consistently with clarity, focus, ease, and grace. So what would it be like for you to have clients appreciate you so much that they refer others to you? And this is one of the main ways that people get clients. Now, we train you to get clients. We train you to have really effective, clear referral conversations, very effective discovery sessions with potential clients where you can show up as authentic and generous and genuine and effectively support them to see how coaching can support them and if it's a fit. And once you start working with people, your clients are going to have such a positive experience that they eagerly refer others to you. What would it be like for you to begin and end the day energized at the opportunity to empower other people? And this is what I was talking about earlier with the ontological approach, where the experience our coaches consistently have with their clients is they leave a coaching session energized by the people that they're coaching. And it's because we're so present to who the person is, a hero on their own hero's journey with everything it takes. And I remember when I first started coaching, sometimes I would tell people I'm a coach now, and sometimes people would say something like, "Oh, that must be really tiring. You're just kind of handling people's problems all the time and dealing with people's stuff." I said, "No, it's not at all, actually. Every time I have a coaching session, I feel lit up. I feel excited. I feel energized." And that's because we're not there to fix anything about the people we're coaching. We're there to interact with who they really are so they can experience their own greatness and wisdom. So just imagine what it would be like. Begin and end each day with that experience, that opportunity. What would it be like for you to be in a community that supports you 100% in your professional and financial success? And the key word here is community. In fact, this is one of the other key things that makes ACE unique compared to many, many other schools out there is we really intentionally treat it like a community of students. So we have a very active online Slack community where people are collaborating, asking questions. We have hundreds of our coaches there, students and graduates. All of our course leaders and mentors are on there. We do quarterly town hall meetings. We do monthly free enrollment mastermind sessions that are open to any of our coach training program students or graduates. And oftentimes there'll be a mix of both, and people love interacting and supporting each other at different areas around in their coaching journey. People are getting together locally when they live in the same area and collaborating and co-working on Zoom. It really is like a sense of community, and that's the way we look at it. And it's really amazing because coaching, for the most part, if you're building a coaching business, is a solopreneur endeavor, something that you're really building your own business. And yet, with the support of community, you can experience being part of a team. You can experience not doing it alone and being energized with the collaboration and support of your buddies, which makes a big difference for whether or not a coach is successful in building their business. because oftentimes people feel isolated and they give up before they're able to really thrive in building their business. But we really make sure to foster the community so that doesn't happen. And everyone really is rooting you on, supporting you 100% in your professional and financial success. Part of our mission is to foster a world in which everyone is supported 100% and no one is left out. And by the way, this is one of the places where you're likely to get some of your first clients is from fellow ACE coaches. We have a separate Slack channel dedicated just to sharing referrals for other coaches, because what often happens is our coaches start going through the training and they get really excited about coaching and they're practicing coaching and they talk with close friends or family about it, who then become interested. Oh, that sounds great. I'd like to work with a coach. Can I hire you? And oftentimes those relationships are too close to really take them on as a client. There's kind of a conflict of interest there. So the natural thing to do is say, well, our relationship is too close for you to be my client, but I have these buddies that I'm going through the program with. They're great coaches too. I'd love to refer you to some of them that would be a good fit. So this is one really tangible way that this community supports each other, is by always sharing referrals in that way, which in my experience is not that common in a lot of coach training programs. And finally, what would it be like for you to be earning the fees that reflect your rigorous training? What would it be like for you to be earning? And you get to determine what those fees are, and they tend to go up and up as you get more experience in your training, as you get your credentials. And we do provide rigorous training. We're one of the more rigorous training programs out there in terms of we have about twice as many mentor hours as most similar programs. We exceed the level 2 requirements for training hours. We're always offering additional advanced webinars and other ways to support students. So it's one of the most rigorous programs out there. And we do that, and for one reason, that you want to know that you can confidently handle anything that a client brings to coaching. Because we really see coaching is a different context than psychotherapy, but is really as powerful as therapy. And you want to know that whatever your client brings up, you can confidently handle it because you've had this rigorous training. And so in that sense, if you're looking for speed over quality, we're probably not the school for you. And most of you know, who are watching this or are joining live, that we're an ICF accredited program. We're one of the many ICF accredited programs. We're a level 2 program, which means we train at the PCC level and do all of our own internal skill evaluations. And what it means is when you graduate, first of all, you immediately qualify for your ACC credential, the Associate Certified Coach with ICF, the International Coaching Federation. And once you have 500 hours logged with clients, we only require 125 to graduate our program. But you've already had more than enough training for the PCC level. So what that means is you can go back to the ICF website, and once you have 500 hours with clients, you can get your PCC credential without needing to do any additional advanced PCC training. And when you get your ICF credentials, we really recommend after you graduate, get your ICF credentials, you get worldwide recognition. It really is across the globe recognized as the standard for coaching. If you want to do work with professional organizations and companies, it's often a prerequisite. If a company is going to hire a coach to coach their team or to do individual internal coaching with different team members, or any kind of organization that's bringing you on as a coach, that's usually the first thing they'll look for is, do you have an ICF credential? And even if you're just focusing on your one-on-one clients, there's growing awareness of the coaching industry. People are becoming more and more savvy. And so when they're looking to hire a private coach, they're becoming more aware of the importance of having those ICF credentials. So whatever program you choose, be it us or another similar program, we really recommend you make sure that they're ICF accredited. So any questions about any of that ICF stuff before I talk a little bit about the steps to get started? Okay, great. Diane, Guy, any questions at all?
No question from Guy. No, just
Okay,
listening.
No,
thanks.
no
Good stuff.
questions. You're doing a really good job explaining. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad it's clear. So we break our program down into steps because a 1 to 2 year commitment is what it takes to complete the entire coach training program certification. And we want to make it easier for people to get started. So we break it down into 3 main steps. The first step is the first course, ACE Foundations 1, Mastering Your Life. And once again, this is all about first learning all of the underlying tools and principles that make up the foundation of our coaching model and applying them into your own life first. And we really believe you cannot coach someone past a point you haven't gone past yourself. So it doesn't mean that you need to have done everything that the people you're coaching are up to, but it means that using these tools and developing the skills to move past your own internal stopping points, have your own breakthroughs, is really useful in setting yourself up to be successful in coaching others to do the same. And it gives you a foundation of tools you can use as you're building your business and moving forward. So this is the first step for all of our coaches. Sometimes people will take this course just for their own professional development or leadership development without even an intention to move on and get trained as coaches. But we have all of our coaches start here as well. So we do it about every 2 months, and the next available one is May 16th through the 19th. It's all online, and it's all experiential live learning. Things pre-recorded. You get coached during the course as well as when we're teaching you tools and skills. You connect with your buddies. You do a lot of practicing, get a chance to develop skills and everything that you learn. So nothing is meant to live as a conceptual ideas, but rather an experience of applying them in your life. So it's 4 full days, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific, Thursday through Sunday, which is 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, May 16th through the 19th. And then there's a final half day, May 25th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific, 12 to 4 Eastern. We have a sliding scale, 5 different tiers that range from 1,200 to 3,600. It's completely up to you to choose which tier works for your budget. Some people choose to join at a higher tier if they can afford it, because they know that that helps us open up lower tiers to make it as inclusive as possible. We don't ask for proof of income. You just pick the tier that works for your budget. And we have an early bird discount of 25%. So that brings the lowest tier down to 900 and the top tier down to 2,700. So it's a pretty significant discount. And today happens to be the deadline, because it's 1 month before the course, for the early bird price. But we don't believe in pressure tactics here at ACE. So we're going to extend that for anyone watching this webinar. So you have a promo code SYWBCC. So you want to be a certified coach. We'll send this all in the follow-up email, and you can use that to extend the early bird discount for another week. And reach out to me if you want to have another chat before you decide whether or not to join this first course. So this is step 1, and I'll walk you through the other steps. But I encourage folks, focus on, do I want to get started with step 1 rather than do I want to commit to the whole 1 to 2 years. So any questions about the first course before I go on to step 2? Great. So step 2 is the Academy Foundational Coaching course, and we call this course Being Coach. So it's the second foundations course, okay? This is where you build on everything you've learned in the first course and then learn to empower and coach others in this model. So you'll see the principles and practices of ontological coaching. You'll learn the basic ontological tools to empower others and discover whether ACE is really the program for you to complete the rest of your professional coach training. Now, as I mentioned, this is the course where you really learn to interact with people on the ontological level. Because we see in all of our experiences, seeing so many coaches come through the program over the years, that what people really want in a coach, what people really come to a coach for, is they want to be in the presence of someone who sees who they really are. So as a coach, I know who I am and I see who the person really is who I'm coaching. And then in your presence, they get to experience that and tap into it for themselves. And this is what we train you to do in that second course. Interact with people you're coaching based on who they truly are. That creates a space for them to have breakthroughs in their life. And then step 3, you can see, has many things under step 3, because step 3 is the rest of the professional coach training program. So once you apply for step 3, you'll have an interview with our Dean of Students. She'll match you with a mentor coach, a one-on-one mentor coach who you work with twice per month. This coach is based on where you want to focus, what your experience is. We've been matching people with mentor coaches for decades. So people generally love the mentor coach that they're matched with. And it's at that point, once you start working with a mentor coach and continue on with the professional coach training program, you can start earning money with paid clients. You start building your business. This program is designed so that you're building your business as you go, rather than other programs where they give you some training and then send you off and say good luck. You will build your business as you go. And one of the graduation requirements is 125 hours with your clients. The majority are required to be paid, which means by the time you graduate, you'll already be earning money as you go. You'll have built the foundation of your coaching practice. So you'll have developed the skills to enroll clients. You'll have worked with enough clients that you're getting more referrals from the people you've worked with. You have established the foundation by the time you graduate. There's 2 more core courses that are about 4.5 days each. There's the advanced coaching course, which is just what it sounds like, more coaching skills, more advanced tools to use with your clients, a lot of skill development, a lot of practice. This is very hands-on, skill-based experiential learning. And then the Art of Enrollment course. The Art of Enrollment course is where we teach you in a very authentic, fun, and effective way to find and enroll the clients that you love to work with. This is a whole skill set. And oftentimes coach training programs will teach you some coaching skills, but they won't train you in how to get your clients. And then oftentimes people give up because they don't have that skill set in place. We see that it's as important for us to support you to build your business and get your clients as it is for us to teach you how to coach, because otherwise you're not there working with the people you want to work with, making the difference you want to make. So that's a fun course. I lead that with my co-portal leader, Raquel Nahara. And we have a lot of fun. We teach you how to do it. And the result out of that course consistently is people go from dreading enrolling their clients like it's sort of a necessary evil to do the work that they really want to do, which is coaching. And they shift by the end of this course. They look forward to these enrollment conversations. They're having fun and enjoying enrollment as part of their job. So that's what it's all about. Then we have a 4 2-hour session course called Coaching and Ethics. That's all of the ethical considerations of having a professional coaching business that's led by our founder, Dr. Maria Nemeth, who, by the way, also co-leads that first course, ACE Foundations 1. So you'll meet her in that course. Then there's a 14-week, weekly 2-hour sessions coaching skills group. That's where you're with your cohort. You are continuing to develop your skills. You're starting to get evaluations of your coaching. You're learning more about how to use these coaching tools with your clients. And it's at this point, people are already working with real clients. So you're really continuing to develop your skills as you're getting real life experience. So that goes for 14 weeks, and it's a way to continue giving you that training support along the way. You also immediately join our coaching community and meet with a small peer group twice per month. So you become part of the larger ACE coach community with hundreds of active coaches, and you get put into a small group where you meet twice a month just for additional peer support. So that's all built into the structure. And then you have unlimited access, lifetime access to our online student portal, which has everything from handouts to give to your clients, to sample contracts, to recordings of some training videos, to step-by-step instructions on how to do your ICF credentials, everything that we can think. We're always updating it. We're always giving you as much as we can in that student portal, and you just have access for forever once you join the coach training program. So this is all under the umbrella of step 3. So any questions before I move on? Okay, great. I can't see you, so I'm just watching your mute buttons. So investment for coach certification. So the first 2 foundations courses are the sliding scale that I showed you. For step 3, we also have a sliding scale, and it's 7,320 to 10,920 for everything that's included that I just walked you through. And we have an 18-month payment plan option. So that breaks down to, at the bottom tier, $419 a month, and at the top tier, $625 a month. And most people will go with the 18-month payment plan option because it allows you to pay as you go and as you're earning money. Because remember, once you join step 3, you can start working with paid clients. So usually after you have your first few clients, it's sort of paying for itself as you go. And that's the way we set it up. The only additional fee is $250 a month paid directly to your mentor coach. That covers 2 one-on-one sessions per month. This starts only after step 3, once you're able to start working with paid clients. And your mentor coach is at least PCC credentialed, has built a successful coaching practice, and is highly trained and an expert in the ACE coaching model. So you get a lot of support. $250 a month is an additional investment, and it's tends to be much lower than the private rates of any of our mentor coaches. So you kind of get the academy rate as you work with them. And you can use them to do practice coaching sessions where you bring in another coach student and coach them with the direct feedback and training of your mentor coach. They're there to support you to build your business and get clients and set goals for enrollment. And they're there to be your coach whenever you want. However, because other people are doing coaching practice sessions, you also have kind of unlimited free coaching with your other coaches in the academy as well. So oftentimes you can sign up for somebody else's practice session with their mentor to get your own personal coaching. So really, you're getting coached all along the way. We have crowdfunding support available. We have a page, acecoachtraining.com/crowdfunding, where you can see videos and campaigns from past students who have raised part or all of their tuition through crowdfunding campaigns. We have a downloadable crowdfunding guide for coaches. We even have a recording and sometimes live version of a crowdfunding for coaches webinar. One of the advantages of doing a crowdfunding campaign, in addition to supplementing your investment, even if you do a small campaign, coaches who do a crowdfunding campaign, it requires them to get really clear on what they're up to as a coach, why they're doing it, who they want to work with, and the impact they want to make, so they can communicate it with their network and let them participate by supporting them with a contribution. What that tends to do is jumpstart the process of starting to get referrals and getting the word out about your coaching. So people who do crowdfunding campaigns often get their clients even quicker. So that's an option, and we have many ways to support if you choose to do that. And then you get to earn money as you go, once again. So, oftentimes as people are envisioning going through this program, you can see how many clients might I get to cover my costs. If I were to work with 4 clients at 75 a session, which is a good starting rate, you might pick higher depending on who you're working with, and it tends to go up from there. But let's say 75 a session just for your first couple clients. That's 150 a month. So if you had 4 clients at 75 a session, most of our coaches work with people for 2 sessions a month. That would be 600 a month. Pretty good. That more than covers your tuition at tier 1. So it's part of the structure that makes it as accessible as possible. Okay. Well, we made it to the end of the slides, folks, and appreciate the feedback that it's been clear up until now. And now we have the opportunity, if there's any remaining questions, I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear just, are you interested in the May course? Where are you at in your are you just starting your research? Are you ready to get started? I'd love to hear just a little bit from Diane and Guy before we go. Still with us, Diane and Guy. And I go ahead and stop the recording.
All right.